The crystal chandeliers of the Grand Metropolitan Hotel cast dancing shadows across hundreds of faces, each more polished and perfect than the last. Zara Vex stood near the champagne fountain, her fingers nervously smoothing the fabric of her navy dress. She had chosen it carefully, spending hours trying to find something that would make her husband proud. Beneath the skin tone modifier on her wrist, her natural violet skin remained hidden. Zara was Celestian, sent to Earth 5 years ago to study human social hierarchies and relationship structures. Her people had evolved beyond superficial judgments, and the Celestian Institute wanted to understand why humans valued appearance over substance. What Zara hadn't anticipated was falling in love. Meeting Damien Sterling and believing in his early kindness. Marrying him and abandoning her research to become his wife. Now, watching Damien across the room laughing with admirers, she felt invisible. Damien Sterling commanded attention effortlessly. At 41, he possessed the kind of charisma that drew people like moths to flame. His tailored suit fit his athletic frame perfectly, and his dark hair with distinguished silver at the temples gave him an air of authority. He'd built Sterling Tech from a garage startup into a multinational corporation worth billions. Zara had met him 5 years ago when she was a struggling photographer with dreams bigger than her bank account. He'd been kind then, charming, supportive of her artistic ambitions. But somewhere between the first million and the first billion, something had shifted. "Zara, darling, there you are." The voice belonged to Patricia Monroe, one of the society wives who orbited Damien's world. Her smile was bright but her eyes calculating. "That's an interesting dress. Is it vintage?" The word vintage was code for outdated. "No, it's new," Zara said quietly. "How quaint." Patricia's gaze drifted over Zara's simple hairstyle, minimal makeup, modest jewelry. "You know, my stylist works miracles. I could give you her number." Before Zara could respond, Damien appeared at her elbow. His hand gripped her arm, fingers pressing just a bit too hard. "Patricia, always a pleasure. Would you excuse us?" He guided Zara toward a quieter corner near floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Zara had once loved photographing the city at night, capturing the interplay of light and shadow. She couldn't remember the last time she'd picked up her camera. "We need to talk," Damien said, his voice low and controlled. He didn't look at her, his eyes scanning the room. "About us. About this." He gestured vaguely between them. "Zara, I've been trying to figure out how to say this for months. I want a divorce." The words hit her like a physical blow. "What? Damien, why? What did I do?" He finally looked at her, and the coldness in his eyes made her blood run cold. "You didn't do anything. That's the problem. Look around this room. Look at the other wives. They're polished, sophisticated. They enhance their husband's image. And then there's you. There's me," she repeated, voice barely a whisper. "Zara, you've let yourself go. When we go to events, people look at you and wonder what I'm doing with someone so ordinary. Do you know how that makes me feel? My competitors have wives who could be models, and I have someone who looks like she shops at discount stores." The cruelty of his words knocked the breath from her lungs. "I thought you loved me. I gave up my photography career to support you. And I appreciate that. But things change. I'm at a different level now. I need someone who fits that level. Someone beautiful. Someone who turns heads. Someone who makes other men envious, not pitiful." Tears burned behind Zara's eyes, but she refused to let them fall. "When did you become so shallow?" "I'm being honest. Most men would just have an affair. I'm giving you the dignity of being upfront. My lawyers have already drawn up paperwork. You'll be well taken care of financially. I don't want your money. Don't be dramatic. This is a business decision. Sterling Tech is going public next quarter. I need to present the right image, and that includes having the right partner. I've already met someone who understands that world. Her name is Sienna. She's a model. The revelation that he'd already replaced her cut deeper than anything else. How long have you been seeing her? That's not important. What matters is moving forward cleanly. I'll have my assistant contact you tomorrow. You can stay in the apartment until you find your own place. How generous, Zara said bitterly. Damien checked his watch, an $18,000 piece she'd given him for their 4th anniversary. I need to get back to the party. Senator Morrison wants to discuss the education initiative. Please try not to make a scene. He walked away without another word, leaving Zara standing alone by the window. Around her, the gala continued, beautiful people. Her phone buzzed with a text from Maya Torres, her only real friend from before the Damien years. How's the gala? Send pics of your dress. Zara's fingers hovered over the keyboard. How could she explain what had just happened? Instead, she typed, "Can I come over? I need to talk." The response came immediately, "Always. I'll put the kettle on." Maya lived in a rent-controlled apartment in Brooklyn, a cozy space filled with fabric swatches and dress forms. She was a fashion designer who understood the transformative power of appearance but never confused it with actual worth. When Zara arrived, makeup smeared and eyes red, Maya pulled her into a fierce hug. "He wants a divorce," Zara said, the words finally breaking through the dam. "He said I'm too plain, too ordinary. He said I embarrass him." They sat on Maya's worn velvet couch, drinking tea, while Zara recounted every painful detail. "That man is a fool," Maya said when Zara finished. "But you know what? Maybe this is exactly what you needed." "How is this possibly what I needed?" "Because for 5 years, you've been living his life, being who he wanted you to be. You gave up your photography, your dreams, your identity. Now you get to remember who Zara Vex actually is." "I don't feel extraordinary. I feel broken." "Then we'll put you back together. But this time, we'll do it your way, not his." Maya stood and walked to her closet, pulling out a large portfolio case. "Remember this?" Zara recognized it immediately, her photography portfolio from before the marriage, filled with her best work. Black and white portraits capturing raw human emotion. Experimental pieces playing with light and shadow. And hidden among them, a few secret photographs she'd taken with her modifier off, images of her true violet skin, her alien nature expressed through art. "You were brilliant," Maya said. "You had gallery interest, magazine features lined up. And then you met Damien and convinced yourself that supporting his dream was more important than pursuing your own." Zara opened the portfolio, her fingers trembling. The images stared back at her, evidence of a talent she'd buried. "I can't believe I walked away from this." "You didn't walk away. You put it on hold. But it's been waiting for you, Zara. Maybe it's time to pick up your camera again." That night, as Zara lay on Maya's pull-out couch, she made a decision. She would leave all of it behind, the apartment, the lifestyle, the shame. She would take only what was truly hers and start over. And maybe, just maybe, she would finally stop hiding who she really was. 6 months had passed since Zara Vex walked away from her marriage and into her new life. The small Brooklyn studio she'd rented had transformed into a creative sanctuary, its walls covered with photographs and experimental art pieces. But more than that, Zara herself had transformed. Working with Maya, she'd developed a style that felt authentically her, not the conservative, understated look Damien had preferred, but something bolder. Vintage leather jackets paired with flowing skirts. Bold jewelry from local artisans. Her dark hair cut in a sleek bob that framed her face. She wore colors now, deep purples and blues that echoed her hidden true nature. The real change, though, was internal. Her eyes held a confidence that came from rediscovering her purpose. Her photography had evolved as well. She still created powerful human portraits, but now she also incorporated her alien perspective, images that played with perception, that challenged viewers to see beyond surface appearances. Critics who saw her work at a small Williamsburg gallery had called it hauntingly beautiful and deeply transformative. That showing had led to an opportunity that changed everything. Julian Cross, a distinguished gallery owner in his 50s with silver hair and kind eyes, had approached her after the exhibition. "I've been in this business for 30 years, he'd told her. "And I know raw talent when I see it. How would you feel about a solo exhibition at my Manhattan gallery?" Now, on a warm evening in late April, Zara stood in the gleaming space of Cross Contemporary Gallery, watching well-dressed art lovers examine her photographs. The exhibition had exceeded every expectation. Critics had written glowing reviews. Collectors were placing bids. "You're the star of the evening," Julian said, appearing with 2 glasses of champagne. "How does it feel?" "Surreal," Zara admitted. "A year ago, I was someone's accessory. Now I'm here." "You were always here," Julian corrected gently. "You just needed to remember it." Across the gallery, Zara noticed a man studying one of her larger pieces, a photograph she'd titled Breaking Point. It showed a woman's reflection in a rain puddle, fragmented and distorted, yet somehow more real than any clear image could be. The man stood with his back to her, his posture rigid with attention. Something about his stance seemed familiar. "Do you know Everyon?" "Zara." Damien's voice was softer than she remembered. "I didn't realize you were the artist until I saw your name. These photographs are incredible." "Thank you," she said, voice steady despite her racing heart. "What brings you here?" "A colleague recommended the exhibition. Said it was the best new work he'd seen in years. He had no idea about our connection." Damien glanced at Julian. "Could we talk privately?" Julian looked at Zara, who gave him a subtle nod. "I'll be right over there if you need me." She led Damien to a quieter corner near a series of photographs she'd taken of Brooklyn street scenes at dawn. "So talk." "I've been following your career," Damien admitted. "The reviews, the feature in New York Arts magazine. You've accomplished more in 6 months than most artists do in a lifetime. Why are you really here?" He looked down at his hands. No wedding ring, she noticed. "Because I made the biggest mistake of my life. Because I've spent the last 6 months realizing what I destroyed. Because seeing your work tonight made me understand just how blind I was." "You came to apologize?" "I came to tell you the truth. My relationship with Sienna ended 3 months ago. It was shallow, meaningless. The company went public, and yes, I made more money. But none of it means anything." His eyes met hers. "I look at these photographs and I see the woman I was too stupid to appreciate. I see depth, compassion, raw talent. Everything I dismissed as unimportant." Zara crossed her arms. "You told me I was plain. You said I embarrassed you. Do you have any idea what that did to me?" "I know. And I hate myself for it. Zara, I was so obsessed with image and status that I lost sight of what actually matters. You were always beautiful. I just couldn't see it. So now that I'm successful, now that critics praise my work, suddenly I'm worth your attention again. That's not why I'm here." He stopped. "Or maybe it is partially. But seeing your success made me realize what I already suspected, that I didn't lose you because you weren't good enough. I lost you because I wasn't." Before Zara could respond, a striking woman with auburn hair approached. "Zara darling, the Times critic wants to schedule an interview tomorrow morning. Is 10 o'clock workable?" She glanced at Damien curiously. "That works," Zara said. "Rebecca, this is Damien Sterling." "Damien, Rebecca Chen, my new agent." "The Damien Sterling," Rebecca said, recognition dawning. "Well. I'll tell the times that 10 works and leave you 2 to finish. After Rebecca left, Damien spoke again. You have an agent. Of course you do. He took a breath. Zara, I know I have no right to ask this, but could we have dinner sometime? Just to talk. About what? There's nothing left to say. There's everything to say. I want to know about your work, your process. I want to know about your life now. And yes, selfishly, I want you to know that I've changed. Zara looked past him to where Julian stood, occasionally glancing her way. Julian had been kind to her, supportive. They'd shared a few dinners, conversations that felt easy and genuine. Nothing had happened yet, but the possibility hung in the air. I don't think dinner is a good idea, Zara said finally. But I appreciate you coming tonight. I hope you find whatever you're looking for. But you won't find it with me. Because you've moved on. I have. And more importantly, I'm a woman who finally knows her worth. That's something you could never take away again, even if I let you try. Damien nodded slowly. For what it's worth, these photographs prove something I should have recognized years ago. You don't need anyone to make you extraordinary. You already are. He walked away, disappearing into the crowd. Maya appeared at her side. Are you okay? I'm better than okay, Zara said, surprising herself with the truth. He came here thinking he could win me back. But I don't need his approval anymore. I have my own. That's my girl. Maya raised her champagne glass. To Zara Vex, artist, survivor, and absolutely nobody's accessory. As they clinked glasses, Julian rejoined them. Everything all right? Everything's perfect, Zara assured him. Thank you for tonight, for believing in my work. The work speaks for itself, Julian said. But I have news. Vogue wants to commission you for a major photo essay. 6 pages. Your choice of subject matter. Zara felt dizzy with possibility. That's incredible. There's more. 3 museums are interested in acquiring pieces for their permanent collections. And a gallery in London wants to talk about an international showing. Maya squealed and pulled Zara into a hug. You're going international. The rest of the evening passed in a blur. And late that night, as the gallery emptied, Zara stood alone in front of Breaking Point. She remembered taking it just days after moving into her studio. She'd been walking in the rain, feeling lost and broken, when she'd noticed the 3 months after the exhibition, Zara's life had taken on a rhythm that felt both exciting and sustainable. The Vogue commission, featuring immigrant women in New York, had won awards and led to more high-profile assignments. Her relationship with Julian had developed slowly into something genuine. They had dinner twice a week, visited museums, discussed art over coffee. He'd kissed her for the first time in Central Park, gentle, respectful, asking permission first. One evening, Zara was having dinner with Julian when her phone rang. Damien's name flashed on the screen. I'm sorry, she told Julian. Let me just take it, Julian said kindly. I'll be right here. Zara, please don't hang up, Damien's voice was urgent. I need to see you. It's important. Against her better judgment, she agreed to meet him the next day at a quiet cafe in Brooklyn. Damien looked even thinner than at the gallery, with dark circles under his eyes. Thank you for coming. What's so important? I need to tell you something I should have said months ago. He took a breath. Sienna left me because I wouldn't stop talking about you. The company went public, and it meant nothing because you weren't there to share it. Every success feels empty without you. Damien. I'm selling the company. Or at least stepping down as CEO. I've spent 5 years chasing status and image, and it cost me the only thing that actually mattered. You can't give up your company for me. I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. Because you were right, I became someone I hate. Someone shallow and cruel. And I want to be better. Zara studied his face, seeing genuine remorse. I appreciate that. I really do. But it doesn't change what happened. I know. Damien's voice cracked. But there's something else. Something I need you to know. The night you left, I went back to our apartment and found your old portfolio. The one with all your photographs. He paused. Including the ones where your skin was purple. Zara's blood ran cold. What? I found the hidden photographs. The ones where you weren't using whatever device you wear on your wrist. Zara, I know you're not human. Her hands trembled. In 5 years on Earth, no one had discovered her secret. How long have you known? Since the night you left. I hired investigators to find you, and they discovered there's no record of you existing before 5 years ago. No birth certificate, no social security number. Nothing. And you never said anything? Because it didn't matter. Don't you see? I divorced you because I thought you weren't beautiful enough, weren't polished enough. But the truth is, you're literally from another world, and you're still more real, more genuine, more extraordinary than anyone I've ever met. Slowly, carefully, Zara deactivated her modifier. The change rippled across her body, skin shifting to luminous violet. Damien's eyes widened, but not with fear. With wonder. You're even more beautiful like this, he breathed, reaching out to touch her cheek. Why did you ever hide it? Because humans judge. Because appearance matters more than substance in your world. I know. And I'm so sorry I proved that to you. His thumb traced her violet cheekbone. Zara, I don't care what planet you're from. I don't care what you look like. I just want another chance to love you the way you deserve. When he kissed her, Zara felt something crack inside, all the walls she'd built, all the hurt she'd carried. She kissed him back with desperation and longing. But then she pulled away. I can't. Damien, I'm with Julian now. He's kind and supportive and he's never made me feel like I wasn't enough. Do you love him? The question hung between them. Zara wanted to say yes. Julian was wonderful. But when she was honest with herself. I don't know. Maybe I could, given time. Then give us time instead. Please. Let me prove I've changed. Zara told Julian everything the next day, about her alien nature, about Damien knowing, about the kiss. I understand, Julian said, though pain flickered in his eyes. Your heart was never fully here, was it? Julian, you've been wonderful. But I'm not him. And that's okay, Zara. I'd rather you be honest than settle. He squeezed her hand. Go figure out what you really want. The gallery and I will still be here. Over the following weeks, Damien courted her properly. Not with expensive gifts, but with genuine effort. He volunteered at the youth photography program she'd started. He commissioned her for meaningful projects. He showed up at her studio with coffee and conversation, never pushing, just being present. And slowly, Zara felt herself softening. But then Marcus Webb, a rival businessman, discovered her secret. He called Damien with a threat, sell me your shares in Sterling Tech, or I expose your alien girlfriend to the world. Imagine the media circus. The government investigations. Damien told Zara immediately. I won't let him hurt you. Maybe I should just leave Earth, Zara said quietly. Go back to Celestia before this gets worse. No. Damien's voice was fierce. I'm not losing you again. Not to him, not to fear, not to anything.